Hey everyone, it's me, Hallease, endeavoring to persevere. As always, if you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow, social media, blah, 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 blah. You know, do it, you know. So in today's video, I'm just gonna show you how I pop and separate my locks. But while doing that, I think I might make this into like a series, if you will, where I call it, let's call it Pop and Chat, where I just kind of talk to y'all about what's going on, so on and so forth, while popping and separating my locks and whatnot. So before we get into the topic, let's kind of break down how I pop and separate my locks. I do this like once or twice a month, and I keep it really simple. I'm gonna go through my moisturize my locks, and then begin to pop and separate them. They're still about 50% damp. I just got out of the shower because I went to the gym this morning trying to lose 10 pounds in the new year. So to moisturize, I use aloe vera gel. I dilute it half in water, and then I usually find my center part, and then I take my gel and just, straight line down the center and the middle. And then I go from side to side. So I'll go to this side and I start like in the middle of the side, and then row, kind of work it in. And then in the middle of the quarter of this section, I go in the middle, this front middle, work it in. And then as I'm going through and massaging on the tips of my fingers, the aloe vera gel into my scalp, kind of making sure that I can feel that it's pretty evenly distributed across this side of my head. And then of course, working in the center. And then same thing on the other side. So while I do this, I'm gonna talk about what I wanna talk about today. So on my last video, I talked about how I want to grow. That's like the big thing I wanna do, and I wanna try to grow consistently on this channel, and I've added a metric. I wanna get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. That's my 2020 goal professionally this year, is to grow on this channel. And one of y'all responded with an amazing comment. I've thought about this a lot, and so the fact that one of y'all mentioned it in a comment was like, see, this is why I like y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get me. You know what I'm saying? So the question is from Seka on my video talking about I want to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I think the video is called Let's Give This a Try, and it's a Monday motivation video. But Seka says, question, your videos tend to have 100% approval rate, all likes and mostly less than 10 dislikes. Most people who find you and come to your channel were looking for your content, quote, quote. You currently have 22K subscribers. Exponential growth to 100K will definitely bring a curious audience that's just passing and not necessarily interested in, quote, your content. So are you comfortable with dropping the approval rate? And I was like, first of all, Seka, thank you for understanding the plight. You do want to grow and you want to get bigger, but you do recognize how that can potentially affect your approval ratings, the likes, dislikes, comments, all of that kind of stuff. And I will say for me, I really, really, really value the community. I just also really, really, really need to sustain myself. But I've had this happen before. So in 2018, I participated in Creators for Change. And for those of y'all who are maybe new, that's a program run by YouTube where you essentially get a filmmaking grant to produce content on your channel, combating hate speech, xenophobia, promoting inclusion, promoting tolerance. And that was such an amazing program that I got to be a part of. I ended up producing 2 short documentaries, vlogumentaries on this channel in 2018 around this topic of why different people across different religions, faiths, and cultures cover their hair, and using that question as a window into understanding people that have a different belief system than I do. It was so awesome. If y'all been here for a minute, then you already know I did it and all that kind of stuff, and you watched them, and thank you. I'll link to them below if you want to take a look. But in the aftermath of doing that, so part of the program was that YouTube actually promoted that you did that video, right? Because, they're funding it and stuff. Moisturizing using Aloe Naturals, diluted, it's like half water, half Aloe Naturals. And I just put it in a spray bottle. And I just put this on the shafts of my hair. not on my scalp at all. And so that was really cool. But I remember when my first video, the one that YouTube put on the main page, they put a lot of them on the main page. That was part of it that opened me up immediately to a very big new audience that don't know anything about me, don't know anything about the type of content I make. Opening up and being on the main page in that way for that video was very eye-opening, and I really did get to see like, oh, this is what it's like to be bigger in that moment. Because yeah, I went from the video having a typical view amount for me, which is about 1,000, 1,500 views in give or take 24, 48 hours, to like 10,000 views in like 5 minutes. And the comments were wild. And I think that was the thing that really made me just really step back and pause, was that the comments were so epic. And they got so bad, I just had to turn them off. I was just like, I can't deal with this level of hate. And I ended up making a response video then talking about, wow, you know, basically Seka, I'm not sure how to say your name, I'm sorry, coming to your conclusion or your point, like, whoa, if this type of backlash potential is the thing to grow, like, do I want to grow? So this is something that I have been meditating on for a long time. YouTube really holds a special place in my heart because it was because of YouTube I discovered my Black community. It was because I had this platform that I learned so much, not just about myself, but how I identify, how I got to see like-minded representation of myself. I was the only person I knew with locks, like having this community with my first set, then going natural, you know, just so much culture was cultivated for me just by having access to this platform. And then on top of that, the opportunities I've gotten just from existing on this platform, not necessarily within a growth mindset, but just wanting to engage with all of you, getting the opportunity to do something like Creators for Change or collaborate with other creators, etc. So YouTube has a really special place in my heart because of that. I think there's something about this platform that really cultivates a strong community connection, and that ability to communicate with y'all so much easier than, say, on Instagram. To seal everything in, I use an oil blend. So I use an apricot oil base in this, and then I usually just use some kind of oil blend that got hers all over it. Y'all, I'm nasty. So what I do is I take just a little bit in my hands. I would say that's like quarter and a half amount, and then I rub it in my hands, and then I just work it through. And I focus the oil mostly like here down, because I am an oily person. My scalp doesn't need help. So yeah, it's really hard, you know, trying to balance that, wanting to grow, wanting to continue to cultivate the community, but then understanding that with that, there is a price you pay, you know? I think you have to learn to have like a stiff upper lip a little bit. Not everyone is supposed to like me. I think it's more about thinking about it in terms of, I think there are at least 100,000 people that would enjoy being subscribed to me. I think there's at least that many people, but maybe I'm wrong, and that's okay. Because again, for me, I've gotten so many opportunities just by being on here. For me now, it just feels like the domino that's missing is like the analytical growth. And to be fair, I'm very analytically minded. That's why I really loved your comment, because you were like, your approval rating is this. And I was like, oh, you went all up in, you did some research, girl. But I really appreciate that. I was like, oh, that's right. I do have mostly 100% approval. You right. Again, what I do is I go back to my center part, I find it, and then I just kind of like, I use my fingers as very soft, malleable combs, and I just kind of comb down, and I can literally hear them kind of beginning to pop and separate. Because with my fingers, I can hear like, okay, kind of move, and there's the gap, you know? And I learned this from Quotidian Light, old school freeform, semi-freeform YouTube blocker. I don't even think she make videos no more. I think she's a missionary now. I don't even know. If I can find that video, that's like a video from a smooth 6 years ago. And I wait until like I don't really hear any popping anymore. And then I just start on one side and just start separating, and it's super light. And sometimes I'll go through and kind of rewrap, palm roll, but I really don't do too much of that at all. So I was telling Mr. Hallease about your comment, and he was like, that's interesting. So what's the compromise? Like, do you have a compromise in mind? Oh, I don't have my hair tie with me. Pooper. Just use one. Just use a lock. Oh, this video messy, but it's fun. I kind of like doing this. Let me know if y'all like these. So yeah, Mr. Hallease was like, well, what's the compromise? I feel like it'd be cool for you to hit 50K subscribers, but your approval rating still stays good. But the thing is, analytically, I already know that for the most part, if I don't actually change anything about what I do, and I just keep making videos more or less at the rhythm that I am making them without making more, then I'll hit 50K by like March of 2021. So a little over a year. That's cool to know that, like, just analytically, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'll get halfway there. For me, it's about I like a challenge. I feel like if I do that and I just hit 50K, it's like by March of 2021, then it's like, yeah, I didn't even change anything. I didn't try anything new. I didn't actually give it a full college try. And I'm okay with it looking like maybe I hit 100K this year. And I realized that, oh, it didn't actually really help that much. Or it really actually didn't change things for me. It didn't actually, isn't my domino. Dang, maybe I realized that. That's okay. So much about all of this is about experimentation. That's why I stay on here. I experiment with my channel all the time. Y'all saw a few weeks ago, I put out a hella abstract lock thing, just because. And so in the same vein that I experiment with my creativity and my cinematography and all of that, I also experiment with the analytics, with the metrics. Like, oh, what happens if I try to grow? Oh, what happens if I post weekdays? What happens if I post weekends? Yeah, what happens to my approval rating? Maybe it does go down. I don't know. Will I be okay with that? I kind of won't know until it happens. I think for me, it's about understanding. I've gotten to a point where I've realized, like, there's no, barring hurting someone or doing something just spiteful, there's no wrong way to do this. You just gotta do. You just have to act. That's the big thing. And I find that for me, I need goals. I need metrics. Because otherwise I just feel like I'm flailing. I'm not seeing a measurable change. Change is inevitable. Change is the only constant, right, in life. But I feel a peace when I can understand what has changed and like define what has changed, if you will. Seka, I really liked your comment. I really like that you out here being analytically minded, watching my videos. For those of y'all who are new here and somehow have made it this far, there's something about me you're driving with. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, why haven't you? And then shout out to my Patreon producers, legitimately. Patreon.com/Hallease. More than likely, they will have already been done seeing this video, like a smooth 3 to 5 days before y'all. There, I post videos early for them to see before anyone else. I also have private weekly vlogs. I also give them announcements way before y'all, everything. And then, for example, I run a production company, so I talk about that with them. Money, income, grossing, netting, all that kind of stuff. So if you're nosy, you want to know how much I make, patreon.com/Hallease, you will see it because I overshare. That is who I am to my core. I am an oversharer because I don't want people to make the same mistakes I do. And I think that's all of them. That is what I do. That is literally all I do. And let me see. Here we go. This little guy in the front. My front has taught me acceptance. That's what my front locks have taught me. They have taught me to accept that my edges are just buck wild. Thank you, Seka, for your comment. I really appreciated it. And I thought, I think I responded to you, but just super simple because I was just like, oh man, I want to make a whole video about this. Thank you. I'm Hallease again, and I'll see you when I see you.